I'm Starr Warndahl, and this is my husband, Brent, and we've been going to CCC for about 15 years.
We've been married 20 years. In August, it was our 20th anniversary. We have 4 kids. Avery is 16, Lauren is 13, Madeline is 9, almost 10, and Jack is 7. Growing up here, lived here basically our entire lives with 4 kids. Very busy, both working. Starr homeschooling the kids, and that's led to a lot of fun, but a very busy life.
So last year at Christmas time, our, at that time, 12-year-old daughter, Lauren, was having some pain. We had noticed like a change in her walking in the fall and had just been taking her to a lot of appointments to try to figure out what was going on. The week before Christmas, we had an appointment, and they really felt like it was nerve impingement in her hip, and it made sense. They had an opening for an MRI on the Friday before Christmas, and so we took it. And I just took Lauren, and I was sitting in on her MRI, and it was taking a long time. Brent has always worked in imaging, so I had a pretty good idea on how long an MRI should take. And as I was sitting on the stool in the MRI room, watching Lauren, they came in and they were like, we need to just start an IV and give her some contrast and just do some more imaging. But none of the people would make eye contact with me. And I knew them, and I knew that there was something much more serious than nerve impingement going on. And so we started an IV, and she went back into the machine to be scanned. And I just started praying. I just knew in that moment that it was something so much bigger than nerve impingement, and this was going to be life-changing for our family.
To me, like having seen so many similar things in my career, like to me, like it was cancer until proven otherwise. And so it was like a 2-week process from the time that we had the MRI until we knew for sure. They did a biopsy, didn't have biopsy results until I think the
January
5th. We got those back that confirmed. How I've seen God through all of this is like the people, right? Like, I mean, thinking about it, like this wasn't a surprise to God. He knew this was coming. Complete surprise to us. I don't know how, number one, I don't know how we could have gotten through this, and I don't know how people get through this without a faith, because there's so many times that I couldn't have relied on myself or us through this. But just the way, like, we talk about being God's hands and feet as the church, and
yep, that is our support system, was the hands and feet.
That's exactly what we saw and still continue to see.
This journey has definitely been hard, and there are definitely Sundays where we don't feel like going to church, and we don't feel like being with the community that supports us, which seems counterintuitive.
People don't know what you're going through, right? And we're all going through different things, right? Everybody has a different thing they're bringing to their life and to church every week, whether we acknowledge it or not. And I think having people surrounding you and having people who just wanted to love you is so important, and you need the church, and that's what the church is there for, and it's been there for us, and pray that it would be there for anyone who needs it.
You would expect with a cancer diagnosis that there would be really dark days, and we fully prepared for darkness and to feel that weight. And honestly, we can say that we didn't feel that darkness. We had hard days, but we have been absolutely covered in prayer. One of the worship songs that was sung probably the second weekend that we knew about things before we knew cancer was Where We Were Landing. I've never caught the words in it, but one line in it is, I don't know what you're doing, but I know what you've done. And like, we just clung to that. Like we don't know what God's doing with this. We didn't know what God would do with this. We still don't know what God will do with this fully, but we know what he's done.
The peace that our family has had through all of this and through everything that a super anxious girl has had to attack, right? Like from the get-go, she just said, I'm trusting God. I mean, she's always been strong in her faith, but like her approach to any of this was just, I don't know, but I'm trusting that God has a plan and he's going to take care of me. And so that to me was like an incredible thing to be able to see, and to see how he is using her and will continue to use this in her through the rest of her life. So where's Lauren now from a journey perspective? We're fortunate that she finished cancer treatment in August, I think was her last round of chemo, and she had scans
Most recently, the end of October, which were clear.
It's given me a new, I don't know, maybe perspective towards Christ sending his son, right, to die. Like as I think about at the time the future of potential loss of our daughter, right, and like how God gave his son willingly for us. I don't know how many times like I was like, I wish for anything that I could do to take this from her, and I'm sure God felt the same way. And I just don't. Like the amount of love that he had for us to do that causes you to just be ever so grateful for what he did for us, so we could live eternal along with him.